All right. Let me. Perfect. Okay, there is our IDS, just in case income gets brought up at all. But we are going to dive right in. So I want you guys to imagine that you are building a house. You start planning and you realize there are so many choices to make, and all of them come with a different price tag. It can be so tempting to save money where you can. Maybe you choose cheaper materials for the foundation because, after all, no one sees it. The house goes up quick, everything looks great, but over time, small cracks begin to appear in the walls. Floors start to shift, doors maybe don't close as smoothly as they used to. You're constantly just fixing things, nothing major, but it adds up. Until one day a heavy rain comes in, you notice water coming into the basement. The foundation, it turns out, maybe wasn't as solid as it should have been. You now realize that the money you saved up front by cutting corners on the foundation is now being spent on repairs. And what seemed like smart money saving decision at the time has now turned into an ongoing problem you can't really ignore. I want you to think of your health as that house, because it might feel really tempting to cut corners. Maybe we opt for the fast food line, the frozen pizza, we skip out on the walk because we're just so busy. And we tell ourselves that we're saving time and money because in the moment it does seem like a reasonable choice. But just like that house, cracks start to show over time. You might notice getting sick more often. Maybe you're feeling tired, dealing with those aches and pains. The money you thought you were saving is now being spent on managing illness instead of investing in wellness. So when you think about your health journey, remember that house you're building. Like, a strong foundation is key. And the choices that we make today is going to determine how well our house holds up tomorrow. So how can we say yes to our health? How can we build a strong foundation for our future and the life we want to create, but also save money in the process? So that's what we're going to talk about today, is saving money on plan. And I love this topic. So if we've never met, my name is Julie McDaniel, and I am a certified OPTAVIA health coach. If you've ever listened to me talk, I love a good acronym. So we're going to use the acronym SAVINGS, and we are going to dive right in. So first things first, we kind of need a blueprint. So just like building a house, doing a spending audit creates a blueprint for either your budget or at least your starting point. So it's really challenging to get where you want to go if you don't know where you're starting. So do a spending audit specific to anything and everything you are eating and drinking. So here are just some places to or situations to think about. Your workplace. I worked at a hospital. I swiped my badge in the cafeteria or the gift shop without even thinking about it. Vending machines, coffee shop stops, gas station snacks, DoorDash and eating out, and even concessions at sporting events or entertainment can really add up. So I know this is different for everyone, but I thought it would be interesting to figure out what was a typical day like for me if I was just buying food at the grocery store, maybe adding in fast food, maybe doing some extras. So even on my grocery store only days, I was still spending around $21 a day. Add in a fast food stop and I'm up to 36. Add in some extras, like I'm a Husker fan, so we go to all the Husker games. So you add in a sporting event and now I'm up to $41. I compared that to our 5-in-1 and our 4-in-2 active plans, which range from around $18 to $24 a day, compared to $21 to $41. I realized I was just simply switching grocery stores, but actually saving money in the long run. So in a spending audit, you can also distinguish between those needs and wants. It's not always easy, but having an awareness of where else your money is going can be really eye-opening. And it's not that spending money in any of these areas is right or wrong, but I personally wanted to take a look at where I was spending money to see, were there some areas where I could make a shift? Were there some things I could delay or delete for a season so that way I could invest in my health? So things like streaming services. I think I had like 7 at one point, apps and other subscriptions that we weren't really using, memberships, luxuries. I was getting a pedicure and a manicure every single month, spending well over $100. I loved it, but it wasn't getting me closer to my health goals. Traveling. Instead of taking elaborate vacations, I cut back and we just did something a little smaller scale. And then what we were spending in medications, doctor's visits, copays. So I want to go back to our house analogy. just for a minute. We all put money where we value, right? So like when we built our house, I wanted a beautiful kitchen, or my pink office. Other people might value other things. The point is we all value different things. I love talking about values because I almost used to second guess them or I made them wrong. Like those values weren't good enough. The thing about values is no one can tell you what you should value. Like no one gets to tell you what's important to you. Dr. Anderson, he always says, two things that really resonate with me, be the dominant force in your life, design your life around what matters most to you. So that's my question for you. What is most important to you? See, the things that we value the most require very little motivation. No one has to convince us to do something that's important to us. So a few questions to ask yourself. Beyond just survival, even when the budget is tight, what do you always find money for? When your schedule is jam-packed, what do you always find time to do? The thing is there's no right or wrong. It's perfect because it's what matters to you. My challenge is if health isn't at the top of that list, that's okay, but let's figure out or create a link between health and what it is you do value. Maybe it's spending time with your kids. How can investing in your health lead you to spending more quality time with them? Maybe you value hard work or being a great employee or coworker. How can investing in your health help you show up at your workplace as your best self? So create a link between health and what you value. We may not always love every part of this journey, but it's just like defining our why, right? Keeping a link is going to keep you motivated. It's going to keep you going and it's going to protect that investment. So investing in foods that are on sale, planning ahead. So some just simple tips, buy what's on sale or find a good price. If you find something, search your client support page or search the OPTAVIA app, find recipes that you can use with those sale items. You can buy in bulk, freeze for later. Frozen or canned veggies are often less expensive and still plan approved. Plan out your meals for the week. This just helps you know exactly what you need and you're not overbuying food or wasting things. Do grocery pickup when available. Definitely keeps those unexpected purchases from jumping in the cart, and just keep it super simple. We're going to talk about this here in a little bit. This is just a quick example of a time I went to the grocery store, varied from week to week depending on what I already had on hand, but this trip I spent around $100. Now before program, I still would have bought most of those things in the car, but I also would have bought all of this stuff too, spending over $200. I did find out that while I was on program, I pretty consistently saved about $100 a week on our groceries. That's $400 a month, which depending on your plan, almost covers the cost of your program. Like that was really eye-opening to me when I figured that out. I talked about keeping it simple. These are a few of my favorite less than 5 ingredient lean and green meals. If you know me, I don't like to cook, so I need simple. This program does not need to be overcomplicated. So these are a few of my favorites, but just, cottage cheese with cucumbers, ground beef and broccoli, tuna packets with celery. All of these examples are less than 5 ingredients and less than $5 a meal. So you can really do this very inexpensively. These are just kind of some comparisons I did because I was curious of meals we used to make prior to program versus lean and green. So these are those Hawaiian roll sliders compared to the chicken and broccoli Alfredo casserole, which is a family favorite. I just added everything to my cart that I would need to make these meals. It was around $25 for those sliders, $16 for the casserole. Plus I always had extra chicken and casserole for leftovers. That's almost $8 in savings for one healthy meal. $30 in savings for the month just by replacing one meal with a lean and green. Taco night, like we needed all of the things, all of the fixings, versus now it's pretty much ground beef and bell peppers. So $27 compared to $13. That's over $14 in savings for just one meal. That adds up to $60 in savings for the month. Okay, next, and no, not yet, and never. Say no to peer pressure purchases. Decline that dinner out, the drinks, the tempting treat yourself spending that doesn't align with your goals. It doesn't have to be a no forever, right? It can just be a not right now. Say no to that all or nothing mindset. If you have a hiccup in your journey, you get to make a new choice in the next 3 hours. Don't wait till Monday to start again, only delaying your progress and reaching your goals. Say not yet to instant gratification. Yes, we can go to fast food. Yes, we have a great dining out guide, but it can also add up. So if you're, in a season of trying to save money, focus on those long-term wins, not those short-term hits. Say no to reward eating. Don't celebrate your progress by sabotaging it. Save money and momentum by finding non-food rewards. Say never to guilt-based spending. You really don't owe anyone an explanation for skipping out on a brunch, passing on a gift exchange, or excuse the sarcasm, but like politely declining the invitation, to your coworker's neighbor's daughter's best friend's birthday party, right? Like it's going to be okay. And then say never to breaking the promises you made to yourself. Like your health goals are worth protecting, even if it means saying no to things that once felt like fun, but are now costing you more than money. G, guard your goals. Commit to your plan. Every time you follow your plan, you're protecting the money you've already spent on fuelings in your future results. I know no journey's perfect, mine included, but utilize strategies like stomp, challenge, and choose. In the moment of temptation, reconnect to your long-term outcome, not the short-term craving. An emotion typically only lasts about 90 seconds. I literally set a timer on my phone, get a drink of water, step outside, but challenge yourself to pause and make the next choice one that moves you closer to your goals. Give yourself grace, but also structure. Grace without structure becomes a stall. Letting yourself off the hook too often leads to wasted money and momentum. So pair grace with a plan. If you get off track, instead of spiraling, give yourself a quick win. Go drink a glass of water, take a 5-minute walk, eat a fueling. This very quickly shifts your mindset to I just blew it to I'm already back on track. Create those default habits. Know what you're going to do when you're tired, stressed, or busy. Make the healthy choice the automatic one. So like keep a fueling in your car. If you're running late, stuck in traffic, you're not derailed, you're prepared. Have a go-to lean and green meal ready to eat on repeat. Rotisserie chicken and a bag salad, canned green beans and turkey meatballs. Know what your fallback meal is going to be so you don't default to takeout or something off program. Intention sets our direction, but habits set our pace. Motivation sometimes fades on this journey, right? We get a little comfortable, but systems and habits will carry you through. So build repeatable routines that serve your goals. Maybe that's planning out your lean and greens every single night before you go to bed. You're setting your alarms every 2 to 3 hours. Your life book's right next to the coffee pot, so you can read it while it's brewing. And then lastly, create a why wall. Keep your long-term vision visible. Post your goals, your why, your vision, where you will see them daily on a mirror, on a fridge, on your phone background to remind yourself of what you're working towards. Okay, lastly, show others what's possible. Just by posting, the monthly challenge on your personal page, you're entered to win $50 in fueling credit. April's monthly challenge is going to be a face-to-face. So put your before picture on the left, your after picture on the right. If you need help, send your pictures to your coach. I guarantee you they will be more than happy to make one for you. But living your health out loud gets people curious, and often they might reach out. Plus, living it out loud reinforces your own consistency, which is going to protect your investment. Inviting others to come with you, bring a friend or a family member on this journey is built-in accountability, helps you both stay on plan and you get your results faster. And even if you're not a coach, your coach may offer referral credits. So check in with them and see if that's an option. Be real and be vulnerable about your journey. Guys, I know this is hard. This was the hardest part for me. But when you share the real moments, the wins and the struggles, you deepen your own commitment. It's way easier to stay focused and avoid off-plan spending when you feel seen, supported, and aligned with your goals. Embrace this community. We have incredible community support pages, free access to tips, recipes, motivation, and accountability without spending a dime. Like it's free. We are so lucky. The more supported you feel, the less likely you are to fall off and waste your progress or product. And maybe consider exploring what coaching could look like for you. Coaches often earn enough to cover the cost of their own program and beyond. I showed the IDS at the start. Even helping a few people can offset your monthly cost or even turn it into a side income. Okay, I'm going to leave you with this. I want to challenge you to change the narrative or the story you're telling yourself. Because we say things like, I can't afford to eat healthy, or that's program is too much right now. I said that for a really long time. But we don't flinch at the $90 Starbucks tab for the month or the $100 dinner date that's gone in 2 hours. Now, this slide isn't about guilt, but it's about awareness. It's about realizing that we are already investing our money. The question is, what are we investing it in? You can rhinestone the peel of a rotten banana, but if we don't take care of the inside, nothing really changes. The truth is, what you choose to fuel your body, your mind, your time, and your goals with is either working for you or against you. And when you stay on plan, when you protect your goals, build new habits, and take radical responsibility for your future, you don't just save money, you stop wasting it on things that don't move you forward. So start investing it where it counts on the inside, and the outside will follow. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.